What is up, everyone? We are Big Things Coming and back for another episode.
What's the name for that? Oh my goodness.
Is Jordan getting a nipple cripple right now?
Close. How we going?
We're good. Back for another episode of Big Things Coming. Geordie, Mel, how are you guys?
Good. How are you?
I'm not too bad today.
I'm kidding. I am
Violated.
alive.
Oh man, I'm taking these lollies away from you.
I gotta say, I've got a surplus over here. Don't worry. How are you, Johnny?
I'm good, man. Very good. All right.
What are we doing?
Today's episode, we are featuring a friend of mine, renowned in the music scene.
Damn.
I did some work with him for Perth United.
Woo. Nice.
Give it up for Mr. Andy Smith.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for having me.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. In fact, I've been watching a couple of episodes
And?
and
Aw.
loving it, but I feel like, what the hell, I've never drowned. I've never had a parachute.
You don't have to have a
Not
crisis
open.
or anything.
How am I going to compete with these stories? You know what I mean?
The bar is high.
I literally saw Girls, Girls, Girls by Motley Crue and decided, yep, I want to be a musician.
Boom.
It's not as
wanna
glamorous
do
as
that.
story. Yeah.
Here we are. But that's cool.
Mate, it's not about, I've done this, I've done that. It's about music. And I've heard you sing, man. Holy fuck, can you sing,
Oh,
dude?
Johnny.
Yeah, it's so good.
you.
Tell us, man, so your backstory. You've been in a heap of bands and we were just discussing like your first band that you were with.
Well, I mean, look, probably the most successful band I was with would be Baby Jane.
Baby
So
Jane,
as
bring
far
that
as-
microphone in a bit closer for you, buddy. You're so tall.
I know. Maybe bring the chair down.
Yeah, there you go.
As far as doing stuff, that's noteworthy, that would be the band that did most.
Baby
of that.
Jane, Baby Jane, yeah.
But obviously before that, I've been in bands.
Yeah.
I played my first pub when I was 15.
Yeah.
At the Warwick Hotel, which is certainly going to show my age.
Were you drinking that day as well?
No, my mum and dad had to take me to the gig. And, And that was back in the day. This was a big room with a massive stage and lights.
Yeah.
And, as soon as I heard that kick drum come back and a fold back, rattling your ribs.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's an
this is-
experience.
yeah.
Like, oh wow, this is real.
This is
Like,
something else. Yeah.
And so I started there doing that. Always doing original music too. I mean, right now I'm playing more covers than I ever have in my life, doing the acoustic stuff for a job essentially. But always done originals.
Yeah.
Even as a 15-year-old when we were starting out.
Yeah. Wow.
And then progressed obviously through bands and different things. Always been around music. Like I was in a very my family are not necessarily musical as far as performers, but we
So
always.
what clicked in you, like at 15? What happened?
Oh well, I think as I
Puberty.
said, I'd always been around music. As I said, we're a type of house that would always have the radio on rather than the TV. So I was I loved music, always have, and then I guess I saw that video clip that we discussed, and I'm like. Well, actually, to be fair, even before that, the first concert I ever went to, which isn't very cool, but was George Michael on the Faith tour.
Oh,
Wow.
And my dad came home one night and threw 3 tickets on the table and said, "I got these. You'll go and check it out." And and that completely blew my mind too, because that there was 8,000 girls at the entertainment centre who screamed from start to finish. I've never. I mean,
He would have been
obviously,
so disappointed.
I know.
8,000
Yeah, there was no. I was about the only guy in the whole room.
You were still screaming.
But
I would be too.
That was a turning point for sure. Like again, feeling that energy in your chest from the kick drum and the bass, and so there's that. Then the Girls, Girls, Girls video. Then a kid come over, a new kid at school come over, and I'd been writing songs because I used to love poetry and stuff like that. Writing poetry. That was my thing. Words. I like playing on words. Kid come over from England, and his dad was in a band, so he had all the recording equipment, and so we
sick.
became good friends and started writing songs, and then we put a band together, and from there it just rolled on.
Just worked out. Yeah.
Wow.
I love that. I thought
Did you have? Sorry, I was just swallowing the gummy bears. Do you
Help yourself some lollies here,
I think I
Andy.
need some of what you guys do.
Get on the levels, my friend. Did you have from the first band? Were there any big accolades you started off with? As you were saying, that you played the Warwick Hotel?
Yeah, I mean, look, that was
This is the
not
starting off
necessarily an
band.
accolade. I mean, look, the first band I was in that did something semi noteworthy was I joined a band called The Craving, and we put out a single. It was an EP, but it went on the singles charts. And back then in Perth, we had a singles charts, and we went #1 for 1 week. And I think I've still got the charts at home. I believe on there we've got Gyroscope and Eskimo Joe, and
Yeah.
you know, they were all starting out as well.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think it was Sweater that it was that early on.
Yeah.
It was Eskimo Joe's song. But
How did you feel like seeing your band right up there?
that's great. You know, I mean, we got 15 minutes. You know, it was 1 week.
Yeah,
I think it was based on CD sales that week, and because we had our launch,
Just
Yeah.
dropped.
we sold, you know, more than anyone else that
It
week.
went up there for
But
the
you
weekend.
still got it though, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's still something that you
That's
can
an accolade.
reflect
It's
on
still in
and
the
celebrate
clipboard,
it.
you know, on the
Yeah.
photo
Yes.
album. you
Yeah.
know.
Absolutely.
So that was that. Then on and off doing bits and pieces throughout the years. But then when Baby Jane started, that sort of really, things happened really quick for that. We ended up getting the Sebastian Bach support when he came through. Sebastian from Skid Row, for
Yep.
Right.
younger
Yeah, yeah.
viewers. Skid Row, a rock band from the
He's
80s as
very
well.
excited
Yeah,
right
just
there.
Yeah.
And we got that, and I don't know the whole story, but his producer with Skid Row was Michael Wagner, and somehow their manager hooked us up with him.
Yep.
So we did our first album with Michael Wagner, who, again, a lot of your audience are probably not going to know half of these guys I'm talking about, but if you are to Google them, Michael Wagner's he did Master of Puppets, he's done Ozzy Osbourne, Motley Crue, any band from the 80s that was that genre, he's done.
Wicked.
So we did our first album, we recorded it here, and it was mixed in Nashville with him
Nice.
and mastered at Sterling Sound, you know, so
Yeah.
we did the real deal.
Yeah.
And he said, look, when you do your next album, I want you all to come over.
Oh, wow.
So we're like, oh, if you insist.
Yeah.
So-
Guess I got to do it.
yeah.
then, yeah.
So, you know, we that moved on. We did the second album with him, and on that album, all of a sudden, John Corabi, who was the singer for Motley Crue when Vince Neil was fired,
Yes.
he lived in Nashville, and all of a sudden, John Corabi's in the studio, and I'm telling him, "What? You got to sing this line. I'll sing this
Wow.
one." And
That's cool.
Yeah, this is one of those moments where you're out of your body looking down. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm Motley Crue, my favorite band. I'm
is
telling
happening?
John Corabi what to do.
Yeah.
So that was amazing, you know, and you know and then from there we did a few tours in America.
Yeah.
And it just
And who set those up for you?
well, it all literally snowballed
Okay.
from it started with Sebastian, then to Michael, then the Corabi thing. Then we had a song called Are You Listening, which there was the guy who was organizing Rocklahoma, which is an annual festival over there.
Yep.
He was putting out a call for bands, and some random person said, you need to get this band on. And they sent through Are You Listening? And next minute, you know, I'm getting an email and it's booked in, and we're over there. We did sort of maybe 6 or 7 shows throughout we started in LA and sort of ended in LA. So but went round
Right.
through
Like
the
a round
Midwest.
trip. Yeah.
And what year was this?
That was 2015.
Okay.
Oh, man.
But you know, this Baby Jane, for all we had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And but it was complete chaos.
Yeah.
It was we're the type of band that, you know, you'd see bands when we're playing on the same bill. They'd have their set list printed out with how long the songs go for and the date of the gig, and all their backup guitars nicely tuned to the side of the stage. Baby Jane would turn up, grab a menu, write the set list down, have one guitar
On the back of a carton, you know, like rip out that beer carton, cardboard, write it on that.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Rock and roll, baby.
I mean, if you got time for a very quick story to tell you just how unorganized Baby
Absolutely.
Jane was.
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
So we were going to do Rocklahoma. We somehow again got hooked up with Gilby Clarke, who was in Guns N' Roses for a little while. He replaced Izzy Stradlin, and so we went over to his house to discuss. Let's do some recording together. And he said, "Look, I'm actually got nothing on this afternoon. Should we do it now?" And we're leaving that afternoon to go to the airport to start the first gig. Like, all right, the bass player's not even there. He's meeting us at the gig.
Yeah.
So I played bass just for the demo. And so we recorded this song with Gilby straight from his house, gone to the airport. We get on the plane, and I'm a terrible traveller. I'm very antisocial on planes, so I'll just sit there and read or sleep.
Yeah.
And this guy I could see making a beeline for us. I could tell he wanted to talk, and luckily he decided to talk to the bass player who sat next to me, and he was wearing a Motley Crue tour T-shirt.
Yeah.
So this guy goes, "Oh, look, I actually drove the bus on that tour."
All right.
So I can hear them starting talking, and I'm just happy to not be involved.
Right.
Anyway, but during the conversation, he said to Jodgie, the bass player, "You know who you guys, I reckon, would really like? Is a good friend of mine called Gilby Clarke." And we said, "We've just come from Gilby Clarke's house."
Wow.
Joking.
Cool.
So it's like, "Oh, well, that's cool." Anyway, so we landed in Denver, I think.
Yeah.
We haven't got anywhere to stay. The bass player's carrying his bass, hasn't even got a bass case. This is Baby James.
Just bass guitar in hand.
And we're
Fresh off the boat,
sort of wondering,
so to speak.
wandering around the airport thinking, all right, well, we're here.
Yeah.
It's the middle of the night. We've got nowhere to stay. Anyway, this guy comes up and says, "Look, I've got a bunch of points. Jump in the back of my van. I'll take you to this hotel. You can stay in this hotel." So our guitarist is panicking. He thinks we're all going to
That's
get,
what I was literally thinking.
hog-tied. And
This is like Spinal Tap moments right now.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Johnny loves a cue ball in the mouth.
But then,
So anyway, he drops us off at this hotel, and it's all paid for. It's all sorted. And he said, all I want from you is when you finish your gig at Rocklahoma, I want your guitar strings. Can you post them out to me? So I'm like, yeah, we can do that. I reckon.
Okay,
cool.
He said, but when you get to Rocklahoma, ring these people up. They're my good friends. They live there. So we did a few gigs in between, got to Rocklahoma, and there is a tornado going through. We are in a tiny little caravan we're Baby Jane. We're in the smallest, shittest caravan on the whole site. I can barely fit in there on my own, let alone the other three. And anyway, the gigs never got called off, but it's torrential rain. Anyway, we called these people up, and they came down. They said, "Look, you guys can't stay in this caravan. You're going to end up with Toto in Kansas City." So they said, "Look, you can stay with us."
Okay.
So, all right, cool. So went back to their house.
Sounds like you met a lot of nice people.
Oh my God, the Southern hospitality is
Wowzers.
out of this world. Anyway, so stayed at them. We ended up playing. I think it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think we played Friday and Sunday. Mm-hmm. After the Sunday gig, they said, "Look, you come back again, no worries." And we were playing in Dallas the next night. And again, we've not booked anything. We've not got accommodation. We've not got travel worked out. They said, "Look, we'll take you there." So it's it's an 8-hour round trip from a place called Pryor, Oklahoma, to Dallas. Yeah. And these guys took us there, and so just, I guess that's the kind of chaos we were dealing with every day, which compared to any other band I've ever been in was quite different for me. I kind of
likes a bit of order.
But it's like a journey as well. Like you don't know what tomorrow's gonna. Don't know what to expect.
Right.
Like with tomorrow, it's like, we're on tour. We've got our instruments. Let's just fuck
without
shit up.
Fucking case.
Oh look, we're over there on tour. We're playing these. I mean, the Rocklahoma was quite a big festival.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool.
We haven't even got backup guitars.
Yeah.
If I break a string,
That's
fucked.
it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Did you ever get put in the boot at some stage? Like
no, nothing quite that bad.
Okay.
Oh my days. What tours you been doing, Johnny?
I'm just preparing myself for what's to come.
You can definitely have a lot of fun in the States, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'll just tell you this really little story really quickly. I was driving from one place to another, and it was going through Texas, and Mexico was on one side, and the you got the big fence and stuff, the barbed wire and whatever, and so we're going, and Texas is this side, Mexico's there, and we took the wrong turn because at that point our GPS just stopped working, which is unfortunate for a few Aussies, and we had one stoner mate in the back who just didn't know what the fuck
Dave's
was going on.
not here, man.
And he was the only American traveling with us, so it was just like, oh my God. So we just took the wrong freaking turn, and then we were like crossing the border to Mexico. Now stoner mate has got like an ounce of pot in the back, and I was sitting there going, oh fuck, nah, what is going to happen? And then these guys came around. They were like, you know, they had their guns. You know, they're speaking Mexican, and I'm like, I'm just a dumb Aussie mate. Like, what the fuck? We're just trying to get to this gig. So they took their passports and had a look, and we were pretty lucky they didn't search the car because we would have got like messed up over there. But lucky enough, we were like, okay, turn around, we'll Yui, and then on to El Paso. Yay!
Mexico is bizarre. I've been there 3 times, and I still haven't got one stamp on my passport. To say I've been there. They don't. Anyone can walk in. Getting out is a different story. Getting back into the States.
Oh, I didn't want to go in there. I was like, hell no. But we went to El Paso on this side, so yeah. But it was.
I'd love to go. I love Mexican food, so.
Oh yeah.
They have a lot of that.
They do have a lot of that.
Nah. Really?
Yeah. And tequila.
Yeah. Oh, now we're talking.
Yes.
Yeah, bro.
You haven't been doing a lot of band stuff as of late. You're saying you're doing acoustic stuff.
Well, that's essentially a little side earner for me.
Yeah.
I actually do a lot of recording, but not a lot of live work with the original band at the moment.
Okay.
Probably because Sister Switchblade, which is my current band, we haven't got a lead guitarist at the moment. He sort of retired.
So you're looking?
Well, yes. At the moment, we're finished. I was hoping the album would be finished by today to give it a plug, but it's very close to being finished. But we used a guest, Michael Menner from Out of Dysfunction,
Right.
Okay.
who is just
Yeah.
insanely
Incredible.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's like the Slash of the Perth scene.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's perfect for Sister Switchblade, apart from the fact he's about 25 years younger than us all, and in about 15 other bands.
Well, that could be a good thing as well, like some young blood to the team sort of thing. Yeah.
I don't think it'd be a problem for us, but I think, and again, he's. I mean, I don't know if you know much about Art of Dysfunction,
Yeah,
but
they're
they're
Sorry, mate.
fantastic.
Right.
You know,
Going over to Germany, or they've been, or
Yeah.
they're doing something over there. Yeah.
so they're great. But so I guess the plan is to get the album finished, and of course, we would look then to find a guitarist and do some live gigs.
Yeah.
But I played with Cross-Eyed Lover, which was a band
Yeah.
as well that formed from the tribute. I mean, Def Leppard tribute.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a couple of the guys from that, they had some original songs, and they just said to me, "Look, will you write the lyrics for it, and we'll do one song." That was the plan.
Yeah.
And one album later, that's out. So that was really good fun, and we're doing that. We're actually getting together this week to start some new ideas.
You guys played at Perth Rocks last year?
Yeah, that was our first live performance.
Yeah,
First and only live performance.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
You guys played there too, yeah?
Perth Rocks.
Yeah, Perth Rocks Festival, like Colourmine were there. And
That's right.
Yeah, we were there.
Yeah, all our bands played there. That was
Really?
good.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we were all on that lineup.
Oh, wait, no.
Yeah.
I don't think it was me.
You were there.
No,
We
no,
got
no.
a photo together.
That was the other one.
Oh, was that for the
was
Jolly Roger Festival?
Yeah. Yeah, we did Jolly Roger. We didn't. I wasn't there at Perth Rocks.
Where you're on Perth Rocks?
I think you might have stole the show that day, Mel, just quietly.
Because I would have remembered playing with this
man.
beauty
Very
right here.
impressed.
I would have
True.
remembered that.
It was both.
You
at
might have
Port
left
Beach
early.
Brewery.
No. I'm very certain.
Snap.
Let's not talk about leaving gigs early. That is a big hate of mine.
Is it though?
Although I've been known, yes, I have like left a gig early because, you know, like duty calls or like an emergency event.
It happens.
But when someone preaches to me, they support the local music scene, but they're always bailing before they see the headlining act. Oh man,
Here we go.
Don't get me fucking started.
Do you have in that?
Button's been pushed.
Have you experienced this sort of thing before? We would talk about this in our intermission, and it grinds my gears.
Well, you know what? When I was doing a lot of original gigs, Baby Jane, we would always make sure we never were the last band on, even if it was our gig, because of that
Same.
reason.
Yeah.
You get the peak time, you know, you get your support.
Yeah.
Then we would play, then there's almost I don't want to call it the cool down band, but that's how it felt.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
people
yeah.
would start
leaving.
going home. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, like I'm getting to the point where Colourmine don't want to do headline gigs anymore because a lot of people just bail after they see their favourite band or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, so single launches and album launches, yeah, we're going to headline because that's our launch. We'll organise it, you know, but then to see like, you know, people come and see their favourite bands, that's fair enough. Maybe they're not into our music or whatever, but if you're going to say you're supporting the local music scene, you know, get out there, well, you got to stay for at least a couple of
I think
songs
if
for
you've
the
been
headline
asked,
band.
you know, to be on a bill.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if
Right.
I was to approach you and say, hey,
Absolutely.
can you guys, do you want to do a gig? Let's do it, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, we were playing after you and then you guys fucked off after
Yeah.
your set. I'd
Yeah.
be like,
Well, I'm not having them on
Dude.
again. Yeah, exactly.
we're trying to work together here, man.
No,
Like-
exactly. And I think upcoming bands need to be made aware of this as well. Like, if someone asks you, like, to play on a show, don't just bail after your set. It's very disrespectful.
Yeah.
You know, like, fair enough. If something happens, like, you've got an emergency to go and attend to, but guess what? Like, people notice that shit.
Yeah, man.
right? Like, and you're going to run out of excuses soon enough, you know, like.
I would say on my account, I've only been gigging properly for about a year and a half now. But I've made it a point, at least with my 5-piece band, at least one or two of us stay to the end.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
We've got,
Yep.
some of us have kids.
Yeah.
But there's,
Yeah.
like, that's at standard. And I can say, honestly, I don't want to, like, blow smoke up my butt. But last 2 or 3 weeks ago, I played a show with Electric State. You were there.
Yeah, that was an
But
awesome
I
show,
had to leave
man.
earlier.
Yeah.
I had to leave just before them, unfortunately, because I had to go to Roto the next day and jump out of a plane. It was cool.
Yeah.
But I felt so bad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's still, at least, I think, my guitarist and bassist still stay to the
Yeah.
end. So you just, if you're in the scene,
You're
and
representing
musician,
a band, you're playing and supporting another band. Like, as long as, you know, there's a couple of you guys there, and let the band know, I'm so sorry, dude. You know, like, my house burnt down or something. You know, I had explosive diarrhea. So I had to
my dog
leave,
ate
you
my
know, like-
homework.
Not an excuse. No, I'm not buying that.
It was some bad Mexican food, all right? Like,
But I get you, 100%. It's just right.
we've gone on a tangent here. I'm
We
so
have.
sorry, Andy.
We're
but-
No,
getting about our guests
like-
here, guys.
Yeah.
Explosive diarrhea. I can talk about that all day, man.
Feels.
The beans, man, the beans.
But I was just going to ask you about how your experience was with Perth Rocks last year. Like, did you enjoy the I mean, you said it was your first and only show?
with Cross-Eyed Lover. And
Yeah.
you know what? It's the
Yeah.
first original show I've done. In like, occasionally when I'm doing my acoustic stuff, I will, because I have a solo album out too that I love people to check out. It's called, and the artist, me, is Anderson, and
Okay.
it's called Silvertop. The
Okay.
album.
Silvertop?
Yeah, and
Yep.
I'm really excited about doing more of that style of music. It's very chilled. It's
Yep.
very acoustic. It's
So
anyone
it's
who doesn't
all over
know me,
Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube,
all of them.
Yeah.
all of them.
Anderson, Silvertop.
Yeah.
And what's
yeah.
your socials for that?
I don't know. I'm an old dude, man.
So, like, Facebook?
Yeah, or
People can
Facebook,
look
but
you up on Facebook or
If you go to
Instagram?
Anderson WA,
Yep.
that's the page for my
Your solo
acoustic
stuff.
gigs.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
but I also share all my song links on there. And
Cool.
things like that.
Yep.
So
We'll get Fiona
Yeah.
to share that for
Yes,
us
please.
as
Thank
soon as
you.
we
Thanks,
launch your
Fiona.
episode, dude. Yeah.
But the Perth Rocks was so good because I
Yeah.
haven't played original music live apart
Yeah.
from the odd song here and there.
Did it stir up the whole thing in you
Oh, it
again?
did.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you slip back into your routine, and it's
Yeah.
you know it must have been nearly a year since Perth Rocks.
Yeah, it has
Yeah.
been a year now.
Big
So-
shout out to Jacob Kenny as well. Like, I know he puts so much effort into organising that sort of stuff. And yeah, like, I heard his phone has been blowing up about this year's
Yes.
Perth Rocks. And yes, I'm guilty as charged for hitting him up as well. Hey man, yeah,
So
if you
what's
need someone
happening?
to, yeah, like, how you been, Jacob? Can we play?
He's like, yeah, I'm good. Okay. No.
Yeah, like, everyone,
So what's the status?
leave Jacob alone. Okay, leave him alone. He's sorting shit out. So
But that was
Yeah.
such a good day. That was
It
one of
was.
the
yeah,
best.
It's
that
a
was,
lot
it's
of
so
fun.
much fun. Like, seeing like all these Perth bands spread across 2 stages, and yeah,
The venue was killer as well. I loved that.
Where was
venue.
that one again?
Port Beach Brewery.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That was
Do you
the
know what,
Jolly
though?
Roger one.
I
Yep.
missed your entire set, and I'm gutted because you were one of the bands I wanted to see.
No, that's all right.
And I missed it. You know how I missed it? Queuing up for a friggin'
A pizza.
Hot dog.
yeah, or whatever it
A
was.
pizza.
It took the entire. I think I saw you start, and I thought I'll just go and grab this
Yeah,
and come back.
yeah.
And by the time I come back in, you'd finished.
Dude, like,
Yeah.
you don't need to say sorry or anything. It was fine. It was an awesome day. We
He's
had a
he's
lot
got
of
it
fun.
out of his system. He's not going to get angry now.
It's been a year.
But like, the thing is, because the 2 stages, and there was like, 2 bands playing at once, and they were kind of like overlaying
yeah.
each other by 15 minutes. we had Electric State playing on the other stage. And like we started out, we had the full room and everything, and then you hear Electric State playing, and like 50% of the audience just snuck out the back. Like, yeah, see you guys.
Did you hear the speakerphone?
Yeah. Electric State though, you can't compete with those boys. They're
you can hear from a mile away.
They're a loud band.
Yeah.
Rob's so powerful.
Yeah. It's just such an awesome band, you know, like fun. They're full of energy.
Great dudes.
But yeah, I can't wait to play with you guys, man. Like,
yeah, well, look, I mean, Sister Switchblade, we're getting offers all the time, but we just, without a guitarist, that's one thing, and I've just kind of put it out of my head until the album's done.
Yeah. So one thing at a time, right? Yeah.
So you guys are a 4-piece minus the lead
at the moment.
So 3, but looking for a 4th.
Yeah.
So if people don't know of your band, like how would you, like what genre would you put yourselves in, like if they wanted to listen?
I would not really know how to describe your own music, but we have been compared to sort of a mix of that 80s LA rock with Aussie pub rock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somewhere in
like
between.
hard rock sort of thing.
Yeah, but with not just, you got your Aussie pub rock like the Angels and AC/DC, which is a bit more straight ahead. We have a bit more of the flair and the glam, I guess, of the hair band.
Yeah,
hate
for sure.
Use of
good cross mix.
Better work. Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely that. I mean, the bands I like your Skid Row, Buck Cherry, Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore. I'm a bit disappointed with them, but
we won't even go there.
That'd be a quick conversation.
The old stuff. Yeah.
Classic.
And so yeah, that kind of straight ahead rock. I like.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the Pistols. Like
punk. The old punk stuff, man. I always find myself listening to like the old Ramones and stuff, like, because it gives me great inspiration. It might just be 3 or 4 chords, but then you take those 3 or 4 chords and you can, chuck some extra layers onto it, like chuck a lick and stuff, and then all of a sudden you've got a Green Day song or something.
And it's all energy and attitude.
Exactly.
That's what's great about punk. Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with you in Perth United, man. Like that was the first time I ever met you.
Yeah, true.
And same with Chrissy Samfeed as well, and George and Frank from Legacy Alive.
Oh yeah. And
like I still remember that day. I was the first one to rock up. I had never been to Oracle Sound in Malaga. I didn't know who Jay Huxtable was. I've rocked up like thinking, okay, I can do this. Yeah. Then I met you, and then I met Chrissy, and I met Frank and George. And I was like, who the fuck are these guys? And then I found out about your bands and their bands and everyone's bands. I'm like, at the moment I play for a cover band. Like no one knows me.
That's what I love about your story, because that day I didn't know you.
No one.
And I found out that you were in a cover band.
Yeah,
and you, with due respect, you came across as kind of the most green guy in the room.
Yeah, absolutely.
But since then, I would say your journey has been like this, probably bigger than anybody else's, especially from that band.
I've been hibernating. I've been playing guitar. I think it's 20 years this year.
Wow.
20 years, and like the Perth United thing it gave me my first taste of releasing something and like having a microphone in your face when I was doing interviews with Stefan and Jacob, and even like the YouTube video they put out, listen to Are We Having Fun by Ambassadors of Rock Perth United.
Check the whole project out.
Yeah, absolutely. And as soon as Stefan said, oh yeah, this is going to be played on radio, I was like, hang on, it's going to be played on radio? Like, what? 107.3 Rock Area? What the fuck? I've always wanted to be played on radio, man. And he's like, yeah. And like, they were just so casual, like, this is normal for us.
Yeah.
Like, I've always wanted to be played on radio, man.
What are you tripping out for, dude? This is
and I was there like sweating and shit, like, oh.
But isn't that the beauty of it all?
Yeah.
And isn't that so much more so that they should be trying to do it again sometimes?
Then I heard Andy singing. I was like,
yeah.
What the
But you know what's funny too? Like, you were actually the inspiration for the lyrics of that, because I remember we were talking and I'm saying, look, I can write music all day long, but I'm struggling these days to write, because I don't get political. I don't want to change the world or save the whales. Yeah. But
hug a tree.
How many songs about partying or women can a middle-aged man right before it gets really boring. And I'm saying to Johnny, it's getting harder now, and it's like, and
it's getting harder,
and that's where it come in. And the song was going to be called "It's Getting Harder," but then we realised this is a telethon, and there might be a little bit of
that's right,
double entendre.
No, I remember having this chat now.
So and I think "How You Having Fun's a better title anyway. But it was Johnny that sort of got me going. Yeah, it is getting harder, and the whole song is about it. It's getting harder, but it doesn't mean it's over.
No, exactly.
Still, we got something to give. So thank you for that.
Thank
young
you,
Johnny.
mate. Thank you.
How did you find? Sorry, go ahead.
All together now.
I was going to ask you, how did you find the experience, like being, put together with a few other musicians that you didn't know, and then bang out, write a song, bang it out, and then whoop, there it is in 12 hours. Yeah, you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I didn't really know anybody really well. Probably Frank was the one I knew the most. And Chrissy I knew a little bit. And George and you I'd never met before.
Yeah.
But there was no egos. Everyone was just playing for the song. Everyone did their part and knew when to pull back or step up.
Yeah.
It was, like you say, I'd love them to do another one, but I know the amount of work.
Yeah,
that they, a lot. I felt for Steph and Jacob. They must have.
Look, we were discussing this just earlier, man. Like I would fucking love for Jacob and Steph to organise another Perth United. Like the amount of musicians. We need to get them on to have a chat and see. Yeah, the amount of musos I've spoken to, and I was like, oh, you didn't hear of Perth United? They're like, no, what was that? I was like, bro, where were you? Like
under a rug.
And I showed them this whole repertoire of like all the songs, and it's like, when was this? It's like, this just happened, man, like a year or two ago.
I was gonna say, I listened to the project 2 weeks ago in full. I was blown away.
No shit.
Many amazing female vocalists. Your tune was really cool. It was one of my favorites, and also just there was a few just instrumental tracks. Yeah, and they were just. It's insane because you're like, this isn't Perth. This is happening right now.
I'm doing it now. Jacob, Steph, I'm calling you out, boys.
Oh damn.
Let's talk.
Beautiful. All
right, man. Well,
that was a wonderful
Andy.
note.
Yes.
We're about time, mate. But thank you so much for coming on. So, which band are we looking for right now?
Who else have we got to thank, though?
We've got Dave Gillum from Mustang Print. Alchemos Mustang Print opening up soon. Keep your eyes out. Dave Gillum Music, thank you very much for all the work you do. And also a big thank you to the Hen House for always accommodating for us.
The place to be.
I think that is us done.
Thank you once again, sir.
One more lolly before we sign out.
Yes, I'll
See you guys.
See you.
Bye-bye.